Thank you. I do know that based on what I have heard and observed, that in reference to the postdoc fellows, presently they're not working a 40-hour week. They're probably working an 80-hour week, and so obviously their time, is somewhat limited. But I know that as we go forward, I want to build on just one point. Postdocs, they earn on average $38,000, $39,000 or less before tax, the average salary. And that's after somewhere between 8 to 10 years of training. And yet, and this should be something that I ask the Minister to consider, they can go to Europe and go to somewhere like Denmark, where they can make something like double that, well, actually, close to triple, $93,000 a year in Canadian dollars as opposed to the currency in Denmark. And so that has to concern you, that here we are in Alberta, be it in any one of our post-fellow programs, where they're making $39,000. You can go to Denmark and make $93,000. I'd like to be interested to know, what can you keep them in Canada?
Well, you have hit on an important issue, and it's the competitive environment out there. It's competitive to get really high-quality graduate students, and we are recruiting around the world, trying to attract the brightest and best. Part of what attracts them, of course, is high-caliber researchers, and we've been able in this province over the past number of years to attract some of the finest heart surgeons and epigeneticists and neuroscientists there is. And so grad students will come here to work with and study with the finest. So I think that is one of the competitive things, and that's part of the reason we built the $6 million into our budget, so that we could look at opportunities to continue to attract, especially from places maybe in the United States where they're seeing some challenges, to attract that talent. We're not seeing a large brain drain out of Alberta right now, because let's face it, Alberta is a pretty good place to be right now. It's a great place to work. And although postdocs are not highly paid at the university level, the ones I talk to love their work. But I think it's critically important also to see the development of employment in the private sector and in the value-add sector, because many of our postdoc students go on to careers in research, in private sector, in value-added, in the government, and let's be real, none of those folks are working for $35,000 a year. These are real opportunities. If we can continue to grow the knowledge economy here, if we can continue to create these things like the Lakashing Virology Center at the U of A, like the Nanotechnology Center, but even more than that, some of the private sector ventures, if we can continue to help those develop, we're going to then create real employment opportunities for our postdocs that are outside of the academic piece. Many of them also look for academic opportunities. They work as postdocs, but they ultimately would love to become professors within our post-secondary systems, and we believe that's critically important too, to continue to bring those folks, those educated people up, so that they can become our next teachers and leaders and professors and help our new students. So it's going to be a combination of the teaching opportunities, the private sector opportunities for our postdocs to work, as well as those areas where they can continue to do some of that research. But I'll tell you, it'd be nice to see more opportunity, and we've actually talked to the postdocs about how we can ensure that they do have benefits and those kinds of things, so that they're not, right now, the Post-Secondary Learning Amendment Act is silent on postdocs, because once you've graduated, you aren't part of the post-secondary system. But they're so critically important to that system from the perspective of working in research and often doing labs and marking and other things that are critically important to the success of our institution. So, yes, we need to continue to work to find a place for our postdocs. I haven't committed to opening the legislation to make that change yet, but we continue to work with them to look for that opportunity to try to find a place for our postdocs.
Well, thank you. Perhaps this is a great opportunity. Nike has the slogan, "Just do it." And